Good morning, everybody. All right, today we have a job skills class. Um, I've been taking some. Uh, One of my meetings that I did was with the SCDD, which is the state council um, for individuals with developmental disabilities, and a lot of the questions that have actually come up were about working, and I asked a couple of questions, to figure out because I've heard from some people that they would like to get back to work. And there are jobs out there. And so it is something to look into. But today's class, I'm going to focus on kind of how to help when it comes to what your options are. Like your case manager, the regional center, the SCDD. I mean, they're all great resources. But then what they've also directed me to is some of these new things that have come up, and so we'll go over that. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it was like taking the class, and for some people that are working and some people that aren't working, and what you need to be prepared for. And so I just want to make sure that everybody's prepared. So, for the first part of the class will be this, and then there's a video called Let's Work, which the SCDD put together, the State Council for Developmental Disabilities, but they put together, and that will be the second part of the class for today. And it should help. I mean, it goes over, it's not a very long video at all. I mean, probably less long than the videos that I tend to make. But, some of the questions that came up, I want to go over with you, like, because there are a lot of people that are concerned about work and things like that, and people need to work in order to survive. Um, through let's see, what one of the main things that came up was for you when it comes to getting a job is one of the individuals on the video or on the Zoom meeting that I had, they said that to find a job that you like. And a lot of times the reason why you want to find that is because a lot of people end up quitting or leaving their job because they don't really like what they're doing. And so it's very important for you to, when it really comes down to finding a job and discussing it with your case manager, or even with me, once we get back. I mean, I can't really do a ton right now, but things like this. But with your case manager, if you really want to start working early, you can, but you need to figure out what it is. What would you like to do? I mean, because, each day is a long day. It can be up to 8 hours long. And what do you want to do for 8 hours? What would you be, pardon me, what would you be happy with? And so that's one of the first things. The other thing is also to know your own skill set. So what is it that you've been doing, like at program? What is it you do in your general life that you have skills in? And it's an important one to think about when it comes to finding a job. And so, for a lot of you, you work at the park. So I think that, possibly some sort of landscaping might be good. If that's what you like, if that's not what you really want to do. But, again, it's combining what you like to do with what you can do and what you do well at. And that's what we really want to find. And the thing is that there's a lot of programs out there. From what they told me, that the regional center definitely has some ideas. There's also the Department of Rehabilitation. A lot of this is a lot more difficult with the time that we're in, but all of it can be done over the phone. So I think that's a really important thing, is that you can just call your case manager, maybe even do a conference call, and your case manager could help you with that to to kind of find out, what jobs are out there. And there's a new program that is through the regional center that I found out about, and this is the main reason I wanted to do this video, because a lot of people are really excited about it. And again, it's not through George Miller, but in an indirect way it is, in that we have contact with all of your case managers, and we can help out with this as well. But really, it would come directly through the regional center. And what it's called is the self-determination program. So where do you see yourself, making a plan even 5 years from now? Like, what do you want to be doing? And so you determine yourself, like, what am I good at? What is my skill set? What do I want to do? And and then you kind of go from there. So I'm gonna read you some of this stuff. And these are just frequently asked questions, and I'll help break it down. Is the self-determination program still moving forward as planned? And it is yes. There was some talk that maybe they couldn't go forward with it, but they've decided that they can. And again, I think it's very important for individuals to, I think for all of you to look into it. And so it's still going forward, and it's worth checking into, especially if you want to make some money, or if you really just kind of want to start to plan your future. This will be an important thing to do. Next question is, am I able to contact my self-determination service coordinator? The answer is yes. You can reach your service coordinator by telephone or email. I suggest telephone, but it all depends on your comfortability. Sorry, it's more difficult a word than I thought it was going to be. But it does depend on your comfort. I prefer, because I usually write out my questions whenever I call somebody if I have to ask them about something, and it's easier for me. But some people really, they can get their thoughts out in an email and prefer that sort of thing, or text. But this doesn't say text. So, so you can by telephone or email. Next question. I have not completed my SDP orientation, which is the status of self-determination. And this is all during shelter in place. So this is during the pandemic. So right now is the time to call and really kind of get moving forward. And again, even if work doesn't sound like something that you want to do right now, it's still a good thing for you to kind of get the information about it and to know what your options are. It's always good to have options, and that's why I was really happy with this, is that it showed me that a lot of people have a lot of options. And the SCDD, like the Zoom meeting that I had, I mean, there were people all over the country that were in that meeting, and letting people know what some of their options are. And so how do you get that done? How do you get your orientation done? So it's a one-to-one, so it would be you calling. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be somebody else. I'm sure you could have maybe somebody there to kind of interpret some of the language, which sometimes it can be difficult. But the orientations will be completed by telephone for those individuals who have not completed one yet. So just give them a call, and and things will kind of go. They'll just ask you basic questions if you don't understand the question, or if the question's confusing, which I've been on many calls myself, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But clarify. Say, I'm not sure what you mean. What do you mean by that? And it can help. Next question. How do I complete my person-centered planning process? So again, that has to do with you and your skill set. It's person-centered, so it's you-centered. They want to know what is best for you. So it says individuals can continue with their person-centered planning process using teleconference or video chat, which I'm guessing is Zoom, which most of you definitely have in your back pocket, which is great. and contact your service coordinator or independent facilitator for assistance, your case manager, and they can definitely help you with that. Well, I don't know if this. So I'll read it anyway. But how is a CVRC certifying status of self-determination program during shelter-in-place budgets during shelter-in-place? Service coordinators are certifying budgets by emailing a copy to the individual parent caretaker, then reviewing it over the telephone for approval. So again, it's just, sorry. I don't think that's that important. Just if you call, they will definitely check up on you, and they will do their best to make sure that all your questions are answered. Is basically what that is. Next question, what happens to the money in my budget that I have planned to use for services and supports that are currently not available due to COVID-19? And some of this, again, this is something to discuss with your case manager. But the answer is you can still use that money in your budget to find other available supports and services that meet your goals. And we all want to meet your goals. And, again, it's just a great thing to look into. Next question, it says, am I still available to hire support staff? And the answer is yes. Financial management services, FMS, continue to provide services as normal. Please contact your FMS to request a hiring packet. Again, FMS will come through your case manager. But, and what support staff really is you could ask me, you could ask other people as well who you feel comfortable with, how to go about starting the job. And so, anything that you're confused about or anything that it seems, because every job can be very difficult to figure out, and a lot of times you need that support. I've needed it for pretty much every job I've ever had. But with this, you would have like somebody right there, and as long as you trust them, you could say, hey, like if it was me, say, DJ, what do they mean by this? I want to make sure that I'm getting this right. And then I would say, well, this is what I think. But then, we both could go to the person in charge and say, we just want to make sure that we're doing this right and we can move forward. Eventually, you'll kind of, as they say, get your feet wet, and then you'll be all right. Once you know the job and you say, DJ, I don't need you anymore. I'm doing this better than you. then I can just say, all right, I back off. And we're all good. All right, next one. Oh, and this is all in Spanish, so that part's done. So that's the self-determination program. And again, it's you determining for yourself what's best for you. And I think in terms of job skills, this is a great way for you to find out what's out there. And especially during shelter in place. I'm not sure exactly what's out there. But again, that's what the regional center is for, and they will definitely help you with this. But you have to give them a call. Just call your case manager. If you don't have your case manager's phone number, I will provide that for you so you can give them a call and say, I would like to know more about the self-determination program. And then the next thing, that during the SCDD meeting, the Zoom meeting that I had, they went over job seekers really looking for jobs and what services are offered. And this is the Workforce Development Board of Contra Costa County. So as long as you're living in Coco County, this can work for you. And it's through East Bay Works. And a lot of times you can get different services through them. If for some reason, your family's out of work or anything that you need help with, if you go to East Bay Works, they can really get you in touch with not only jobs, but they can also get you in touch with how to get food stamps or really just how to survive through a tough time. And, right now is a very tough time for a lot of people. But like I said, for this one, as a because this is job seekers, and I know that some of you have said, I want to move on and get a job, and so all of this is free. You can call East Bay Works. Most of everything is going to be done over the phone, and you can give them a call. And some of the we don't need this one. Some of the services that are offered. So they specialize in promptly serving job seekers with greater need. Um, and this is what it says here. It says, do you qualify for priority service? Please let us know if you, number one, have a disability. Number two, are low income or receive public assistance. Number three, have experience involvement in the justice system. Number four, are a veteran or are the spouse of a veteran. And number five, have any other barrier or to education or employment. So a lot of this is to help, but again, when you call, just be honest with them and say, hey, this is what I'd like to do. I would like to, pardon me, see what jobs are available, and they'll just go over these questions with you. Again, if you would prefer for me to be there on the call, I could help you with that, but they might not want me there. So, ultimately it's on you. And then this next part, which is important for a lot of people, was your income impacted by COVID-19? Now, this is going to, for the individuals at program that have worked, your income has been impacted by COVID-19 because you're not receiving a paycheck. We get the SSI and everything like that. You get that, but you don't have your paycheck that you get every 2 weeks. So, according to this, and this is through Job Seekers, the Workforce Developmental Board of Contra Costa County, you may be eligible for a one-time financial assistance. Eligible individuals may include those who are laid off or had hours reduced, which we all have. Not able to work to COVID-19 for school childcare closures, not so much us. Unable to work to telework due to lack of equipment or technology. So if you don't have a computer or a phone or things like that, not as much of an issue for us, but for some of our individuals, it definitely is. Unable to work because you or your family member were high risk for contracting COVID-19. That basically, the higher risk categories are people over a certain age, but it also has to do with say you have asthma, or there's different conditions that for some reason this virus definitely kind of is more easily contracted for people that their immune system might be a little bit lower than it should be. And so if they do come in contact, and this is why we have to wear our face mask over the nose, everything we've talked about, but that's why it's important to, not just to protect ourselves, to protect everyone. And if you are, again, at a higher risk, then you can contact them. I mean, and for more than one reason. It could be because your hours were reduced, and you might be at a higher risk. If this is the case, I would highly suggest that you contact the Workforce Development Board of Contra Costa County. You could be reimbursed or receive assistance towards paying for housing and utilities, child care, equipment to telework, and other assistance. So there are other things that you might be able to get some help from, and it's not specifically for a job, but they'll also help you look for a job. And then you have the self-determination program. You have the Board of Contra Costa County that can help you out. But also, if some of these aren't really available, there's other services that are provided to make sure that everybody gets through this safely and healthily, because that's what everybody wants. Next part, basic career services. So this is what they would offer in terms of a job. They'll help you with internet job service, phones, copier, fax, job search workshops, helping with resumes, interviews, networking. I can help you with some of that as well. Basic computer classes, and there are all sorts, and they offer individualized services. So if, again, kind of like the self-determined program, it's individualized to you and what your needs are. So individualized services allow for one-to-one work with a career coach and require enrollment in the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act WIOA program. So they will provide career coaching, skill assessment. So what are you good at? Again, we need to know what our skill set is. Needs-based funding for job training, on-the-job training opportunities. Again, that would be at your job and, needing, just kind of basic guidance. And then eventually, once you get the job, you're like, yeah, I got this. I don't need any more help. Job search assistance, network opportunities, skills upgrade. So once you've mastered a skill, they're going to be like, well, if you can do this, you can do even more. And then, you keep going from there. And skill certification, and they say fees may apply. So if you want a certificate, you might have to pay for it. So again, these are some of the things that are out there. And in terms of job skills, I think it's best that we continue to look for jobs, continue to seek employment to better ourselves, to help ourselves, and to help our families. It really makes a big difference right now. And, the good thing is that from everything that everybody went over with the SCDD, it really seems like there's a lot more out there than I thought was available. And it's only by taking that training and taking that Zoom, meeting that I really found out about this. But I want to give this back to y'all. And if you need any help with it, I can give you the email addresses or anything like that. But I would strongly suggest that you contact your case manager, because especially when it comes to the regional center, that's where they work. They're going to be able to help you even more. So anyway, I hope this class was helpful, and I don't want to go too long because sometimes my classes can take too long. But, again, I want you all to make money. I want you to all feel proud of yourselves and get back out there. And this is a way to start. And I will send off the video for the second part of the day. Anyway, I miss you, and I hope to talk to you all soon. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.